Welcome back to another episode of the Art Award. And today I'm sitting with a young man that's the WBA 130-pound champion. He is a respected figure in the game. And he's coming off of one of the biggest, hottest fights of the year. I want to welcome to the show, brother Lamont Roach.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
Man, bro, I appreciate you taking the time. Man, I see you making your rounds, man. You ain't got a lot of rest since the fight, man.
I'm telling you.
You've been working.
I've been running around a little bit. This is actually like a different stage for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I've been champ, even though I've been amongst some of the best fighters in the world for a long time, I never been on this platform where everybody can see me. So might as well take advantage of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, you put on a great performance, and I want us to start off with the fight. Not the details, but just I know you just kind of went back and watched it. What's your takeaway just from watching it one or two times after the fight, now that you had time to sit with it?
My takeaway is, some people might be a little bit more privileged than others in the ring. When it comes to the commission, when it comes to judging, and when it comes to the refs. I think I performed very well against a highly touted, highly skilled, world-class athlete in itself, Gervonta Davis. But I think I edged him, and I think some of those privileges negated me a win. So that's how I took it. But other than that, I think I performed very well. I executed the game plan to a T.
That's what you had in mind, the way you execute.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's what y'all trained for. That's what Pops wanted.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And, we knew it was going to happen like that.
You came out with the tweet saying, hey, there may be some action, something's going on. Like, what shifted versus what you were originally hearing that made you tweet that about the decision?
So what made me say something it was the point that the New York State Athletic Commission kind of like picked it up and reviewed it itself. So that's why I was like, oh, normally that don't happen. And, and the only way it would have got overturned is if somebody reached out from my camp or whatever. And just to clear this up, because you know how people are, they like, oh, you got lawyers, you're suing, this and that. Look, as soon as they see lawyer, they think it's sue or it's a lawsuit or whatever case may be. No. Let me put things in perspective for people. If y'all had an opportunity to have a win, a life-changing win, to be overturned due to a fault in the referee or corruption in the referee, and I said or, so I'm not saying it was corrupt, it was corrupt. Why wouldn't somebody on your team reach out? Why wouldn't you look at your team like,
that's a good business.
They did that on their own call. Like, I mean, obviously they was like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
It's good business.
For sure. So why wouldn't I want to have a team like mine to, press the action, especially if they picked it up themselves? So that's how it happened.
That's good business, man. People don't understand what they, a lot of these people, as
I know.
They just talking, man. And you got to do what you got to do because, it's a situation that very well could have got overturned and probably should have been overturned.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So, but before we get any deeper into the fight, man, take me back to your early years, when you first started boxing and your family life and just kind of how you grew up.
Well, I grew up very family-oriented. Me more personally, I was just if you ask my mother and father, a rambunctious kid or technically a badass. So, I was just outside. I was very competitive from the jump. I was in sports since I was 5 years old. I always wanted to be the best. I thought I could do everything. I thought I could play baseball, football, basketball. And I did, actually.
You did all those sports?
I did all the sports.
Yes.
I did all the sports. And then, after a couple fights in school and outside in the street, and then they were just like, all right, we got something for you. So I started boxing. And then, when I started, I wasn't the best. And I ain't like that. I probably got my ass whooped I started sparring 2 weeks into being in the gym.
Oh, yeah,
and then, so,
you tripping.
So, my cousin used to tell me, he like, don't worry, you gonna get him, you gonna get it. And then like the tide started changing about that when it hit like a month, that tide started changing. I was sparring people with fights, 30 fights and all. That's a lot to somebody who don't got no fights. And the tide started changing. Then I was like, all right, I'm on that. I'm trying to be the best. So you know what I'm saying? Like, it was cool, and then I enjoyed it. Boxing became it outgrew football as my first love.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Didn't take long.
It ain't take long.
Yeah. Was Pops training you early on?
Nope, he's the cameraman.
Really? Really?
For sure. Yeah.
So you got all that early footage when you first started?
I lie to you not. We got crates.
Oh man, say that, man.
Crates.
VHSs?
I ain't that old.
You got the CD?
We got DVDs.
Yeah, I got VHSs at the house. I had to transfer it over to digitally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got DVDs. Yep.
Yeah. Man, transfer that over when you can, bro. That's
sure.
a gold mine.
For sure.
That's a gold mine. So when did Pop start training?
So he started training me, I want to say 2007. I started boxing in 2004. My cousin Bernard Boogaloo Roach, he was my trainer from the jump. And he had his own gym called Fit to Fight. And you know, when some stuff happened, the gym broke up, split up. You know, my cousin just went on his own. My dad was like, you know, the gym splitting up, what you want to do? Like, you gonna go with Boogaloo or you gonna, you know, stay at the gym or whatever? And I was just like, I'm going with Boogaloo. Don't worry about all that, you know. That's my people's. That's how you know. So when the gym split, my cousin Boogaloo said, he asked my dad, he's like, look, I need your help. You gonna help me train your son? You gonna help me train the rest of these kids that I got? It's been a wrap. So
That's Pop's introduction to being a trainer.
For sure.
Yeah,
He been learning
that's
on the job.
That's crazy. What was it about boxing, you know, playing them other sport? What was it about boxing that fed you in a different type of way? Like, what was it?
Like I said, I was driven by being the best. When I got to high school, it was like, all right, I'm gonna play football and still try to box. I was losing weight. I was losing weight for fights. They was getting bigger. They was eating 5 times a day, creatine, protein shakes, all that. So it's a little different. I'm looking at it like I'm #1 in the country at my age and weight. I just won a national tournament. I ain't playing football. Y'all can miss me with that. You know, well, it's 1,000 people that's #1 or #2. 1,000 more people better than me at my position than them, and they way bigger.
Yeah, and that's a team sport too.
For sure.
It ain't nothing like everything being on you.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
ain't nothing like that. But you grew up in, you know, the DMV. I don't know if y'all. I don't think if y'all from here, y'all don't call it the DMV, huh?
Nah, we do. We call it the DMV. It's just certain parts of it's like specifically certain parts, especially when you're from there. It's more than likely DC, Maryland, and that's like Prince George's County and the closer counties surrounding it, excluding Baltimore, and then Virginia.
So you like, you know, being from that region, bro, y'all they can scrap, they can fight.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I seen that just being in the nationals. You know, you see certain cats, Philly cats pull up, Concrete Jungle, then you see DC cats, and you see, you know, Headbangers, then you see, you know, cats from, you know, Detroit and different parts. You start realizing that, man, they can rumble. I mean, they cool, they all right, but they can go.
Yeah, the who's.
Being from like this part of the region, like, it probably wasn't no average come up for you just like learning how to box. Like, you got to learn fast because there's some dogs in that gym, I suppose, right?
Yeah, definitely. So it's always been, especially since I've been boxing, it's always been a hotbed. You got to think our history is rich with world champions, even Olympians.
And great trainers.
And great trainers. So I think me coming up in this environment in the boxing game is just, you know, perfect. It's suited because look at me now, out of my crop, out of the, you know, surrounding age groups or whatever the case may be, maybe a few before me and a few after me. Look where I'm at.
I know you mentioned a couple fights, but was you a street cat, a street fight type of cat, or was you got a lot of fights at school, or did your reputation keep people back?
So when I started boxing, it was like, you know, not really. I probably got in a few fights after boxing, but that was about it.
It wasn't like crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't like that. I wasn't too, you know what I'm saying, into that no more.
What was the local amateur scene like when you start moving? Like not national, but local?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, younger. I ain't gonna lie. When
So
we got
rumbling,
older,
though. Y'all was rumbling though.
Oh, was we?
But mine and Ant, like they older than you. So you missed. Did you miss their wave? Or
Yeah,
did you catch the end
yeah,
of
for
it?
sure. I missed their wave for sure.
Okay.
But we was rumbling every weekend. They wasn't scared to put nobody in no tournaments, nothing. I mean, like I fought Lamont and Anthony nephew twice. His name Patrick Harris, the son of one of the tank trainers. We fought twice when we was kids. You know, it was a lot. I probably fought headbangers. I want to say like 6, 7 different times as an amateur.
Tough fights.
Some.
Yeah.
The only 2 I lost was to him, to Boog's son, Pat. Yeah. That's my man though. That's my man.
Yeah. How did you grow up though? You grew up like middle class, or was y'all had a?
I grew up not wanting for nothing. I grew up. My parents did exactly what they were supposed to do to provide me with a great life. Not wanting for nothing. Especially as a kid, especially now, I always had their love and support, whether it be financially, emotionally, physically, whatever the case may be. I just probably had my own choices. That probably, you know what I'm saying? So growing up in the city is just like, it's different. Or it might not be different. Got 2 ways you can go. Positive or whatever everybody else doing. I was kind of like in the middle. I was going positive, but like if you ask my parents, I was a badass.
You had moments though.
So yeah, for sure.
I was gonna ask you that. That was my next question. Like, how did you, even if you don't grow up like in the slums, you around stuff.
All the time.
You got cousins, you got brothers, you got friends. How did you stop yourself from getting caught up for real? Like,
so I think that was the thing, that seeing my own potential and knowing where I wanted to be. Even though I probably did some of the dumbest shit in the world.
looking back, you was tripping.
Yeah. But like you said, it's what you around. That's what I was around all the time. All the time. I mean, like you said, my cousins, all my friends, no disrespect, y'all. Most of my friends been in and out of jail for I don't know how long. I ain't gonna call them jailbirds. They don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the people that I grew up with, the people I relate to. Cousins, sad to say, died of gun violence or, around that. So I've been there. And I've seen a whole lot.
Yeah, I heard you, I don't know if it was on your YouTube channel or somewhere else, but I heard you say, man, I don't really do nothing. I'll be at the house chilling or I'm taking collect calls. Like, who calling you from the pen?
My man
from
Malik.
the county?
My man Malik.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you got
man.
people in there?
My man Malik. My man Situation Slim. I don't know if y'all, I don't want to put his real name out there, but Situation Slim, he an artist or whatever. Cause he walked me out for my fight against Philgo McCory. He back in right now. My man Jigs just came home. So it's, you know what I'm saying? Like it's sad. Malik gonna be in there for a couple more years, but he used to box with me, and that's
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Really?
He used to box with me.
Man.
So
some of the coldest cats, man, the world will never see. Coldest hoopers,
tell me
football
about
players,
it.
boxers. I know so
Tell me
many
about
boxers right now. I'm like, bro, you had way more talent, like raw talent than me. He got off. He got off and then went astray and then
That's
just got
how it
caught
be.
up.
That's definitely how it is in our city.
Man.
For sure.
When I look at spots like, like Ohio, like, Cleveland,
They don't breed
Cincinnati.
nothing but athletes in Ohio.
Man, bro, and
that's all it is to do.
They all can fight. But I also like I know the Cincinnati cats and the Cleveland cats, and they all say the same thing. They like, bro, it's crabs in the bucket. Like, it's literally like, you start trying to climb out, the city gonna pull you back down. They gonna start hating on you. They gonna make it hard for you to make it. Is that the vibe you got being in the DMV area? Or is it different?
Yeah. No, it's both. I ain't gonna lie.
It's love, but it's also
love,
some of that.
but it's a whole lot of It's a whole lot of that. I just got, honestly, today, on the way up here, I just got some BS that I seen that I ain't really take too kindly for. But somebody from my city too. But you know,
In the build-up, though, I know you was isolated in Florida, I believe you was at, and you kind of locked in and probably kind of trying to stay out the way, but like, what did you feel? Did you feel like they was like, oh, he finna get knocked out messing with Gervonta?
yeah,
Mostly?
I seen it. Ding, 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 ding. Notifications, all that. But you know what you really gotta worry about, though, or not worry, but that you gotta keep an eye out
Fake
for?
love.
The ones who quiet.
Yeah, like, what's up, bro? It's all good.
The ones who don't say nothing about this fight. Cause you know what they waiting on? The result. If you win, it's, oh, I knew you could do it. If you lost, I knew that nigga was gonna get knocked out.
How you deal with that, though?
I don't really care about it though, cause I got real love. I got real support. I
Family,
got real people behind me that really want to see me succeed. So that's how, like, I don't know most of them, so I don't care.
You ain't tripping.
I'm not
Even
tripping.
if they around your city?
Yeah, no, I don't really care. What they gonna do for me?
They not your people,
They not my people. After I win, they still like, you know what I'm saying? Like, still don't matter. If I were to lose, what they gonna say? Oh, told you was gonna lose. Don't matter.
Fight fans, I go by the name of Ak.
And I'm Barack the Boxing Bully. And we got some great fights this weekend with Gervonta Ennis versus Stanionis. And we teamed up with our partners at DraftKings so you could jump in all the action. Gervonta Ennis versus Stanionis. Incredible fight, Ak. Listen, Gervonta was blowing through everybody, had one tough fight, and now people are saying, oh, maybe he's not the goods that they were talking about. I don't know. I think he still got it. What you think?
Gervonta Boots Ennis is a fighter that is willing to be in the lion's den. He is where the fire is hot all the time. He's in the pocket because he wants to hurt his opponents, right? Gervonta gets hit because he wants to get you out of there. Honestly, I think he's still one of the top dogs in the ring. I don't see how Stanionis gets past Gervonta Boots Ennis. It's going to be a good fight as long as it lasts.
That's going to be a great fight because Stanionis is a good fighter. So check out all that DraftKings has to offer. And don't forget, when you're signing up, use my code, ATS Fight. Crown is yours.
With so many different ways to play, DraftKings has something for every single sports fan.
Check out all that DraftKings has to offer, either on the app or on the website.
Go download the app. What you waiting for? Right now.
All you new customers, use my promo code, ATS Fights. Level up your fight night experience.
I know you and Gervonta rumbled, twice as amateurs?
Yeah.
When did you first become aware of Gervonta Davis, that he was even a fighter?
Probably when I was like 10. So it was like my first year boxing, for real.
What you remember, what you was hearing about him?
That he was winning. That he was
Was he
winning.
stopping cats back then?
Was he stopping them? Nah. But he was like, real flashy. He had the name already. He had the name, Tank. So he was real flashy. He was from Baltimore, so that was a thing too. That was just like, he stood out because most of the time they had to travel to DC to fight in our golden gloves, silver gloves, all that stuff. So we already knew, but he been good since he been little. So I was very aware of him since a kid.
When did y'all first bump?
We probably first got in the ring with each other, sparred probably like 13. He a year older than me, so he was probably 14, I was like 13. Maybe even 12. It depends. But we got a lot of rounds in.
Yeah, I didn't know y'all sparred. I thought y'all just fought.
Oh yeah, no. We got some
Yeah,
rounds in.
yeah,
I got them on tape.
yeah. You felt like what you knew about him, even though it was a long time ago, did any of that help you in this fight with him? Tendencies, mannerisms, he like to do this.
Yeah, but it's more eternal than physical, if you get what I'm saying. So, yeah.
Like the mentality.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that I witnessed that probably helped me more outside of the work that we had in the fight. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to some of that in a minute because I got some questions on that.
All right.
So you turned pro in 2014. Why you didn't wait till the 2016 Olympics?
It was too long.
Yeah, another two. You could wait another 2 years.
You know what's crazy? I could have tried out because they had to reload. I could have went, but we had somebody competing in the last chance tournament, and I would have had to qualify through the last chance. Like my birthday was on the cusp where I couldn't go to no other qualifying tournaments but the last chance tournament, and we already had somebody in there. And he actually made it to the championship and lost to Raynell Williams from Ohio.
But you turned pro. Who did you turn pro with initially? Promoter-wise, manager-wise?
Golden Boy and Oscar
Okay, you was with them from the beginning.
from the jump.
Really? Okay. You're not with them no more, huh? Yeah. Did you have a manager?
Yeah, I had my dad was my manager.
Okay. He's still the manager?
Yeah, he's still my manager.
Yeah.
Yep. Right now, my dad works with Robert Diaz, who's been the matchmaker at Golden Boy, but he's always been a handler of my career, who helped build me up. Him and my dad built me up from the ground up when it came to my fights and who I fought and how my career turned out. And now we're working with Gary Jonas as well, so it's like a little powerhouse.
How involved are you with like the business side? Like you a cat that like, I'm gonna let my dad do that, or do you want to know what they saying and you want to weigh in on
I
the
want to
money,
know.
the details, the contract, all that?
I want to know for
You
sure.
care about that?
Yeah, I do.
That's good.
I do.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my career.
Yeah.
So
What type of businessman are you? You be giving in on negotiations or you be fighting hard?
no, I be putting my foot down.
You put down?
I make them say, oh, well, I don't know if they gonna
Like that?
Yeah.
Your first title shot against Jamel Herring in Fresno, California. Ain't nothing out there but cows, bruh.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And I called that fight. What's the difference between that guy and this guy, the guy we just seen face Gervonta Davis? Because to me, the confidence looked different. You just look like a different fighter. Maybe I'm reading that wrong.
A different fighter, yeah, but only because I am evolved. I had the same skill set back then, believe it or not. It's a lot of factors with Jamel though. 5'10", 5'11",
Rangy.
southpaw, and he had a good team.
Yeah.
He had a real good team. They had a good game plan, and he was real awkward. So that made for it was just a little, just right there. But in a sense, I mean, like fast forwarding to today, it's like, I think you even probably said something when we had the fighter meetings. Like when we had the fighter meetings, you had said something to the degree of like, when it comes that time and you don't gotta take no for an answer, what you gonna do? That's the difference. See, I said, yeah, I ain't taking no for an answer, but I ain't apply it all the way. I started too late. After that, switch clicked. I couldn't take no for an answer no more. So that's what it really
And I read somewhere where Pop said you needed that though. He didn't say you needed. He said something along the lines of like that made my son a better fighter. Like that loss made him better.
Yeah, for sure.
In that area that you're talking about right there. Yeah, that loss, man. Some people losses don't really affect them like that. They just take it with the win. Like, oh, you win some, you lose some. But the other people, that thing sit with you.
Oh,
Sit with you.
guess who was only in the back? In the back.
Yeah.
Me and my mom in the corner crying.
Man.
It was tough. I ain't gonna lie, I was depressed.
Off of that?
I ain't no loser, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that. I don't like that. After the draw, I was pissed. We ain't come here for that. So.
And that one tough too, because, you right there. Like, you right there.
Yeah.
And for everything you getting right now, you get your hand raised, it's double that. In terms of just attention, notoriety, legacy, all that.
Legacy.
Yeah.
You gotta think. That's what I'm in it for. I set goals for myself. Being a 2-division world champion, it's on my goal list. Being a 2-time world champ, it's on my goal list. I would have knocked both of them out in one setting. Imagine the possibilities after that.
What was the reason, bro, that, like, I read something, but they did, like, the New York State Athletic Commission What was the reason they gave you for not overturning it?
So the reason was that if it would have been a score to knockdown, there's no definite outcome of how Gervonta would have responded or fought with the remaining rounds to go. What I took from that is basically, yeah, we messed up, but somebody got to take the fall. And it ain't going to be him. So, like, they owned up to it. Like, all right, we missed this. They owned up to it. It's like, but they just saying like, all right, we not going to overturn it though. We're going to, apologize and give you your flowers, but you ain't going to get what you want. That's basically what I got from it.
And you ain't heard nothing from the ref? He didn't make no statement or
He
nothing?
ain't make no statement. That was, I ain't gonna lie, man. That was, from him, that's sad.
A lot of times that's what the commissions do though, man. If something bad happened with a ref, they'll protect the referee.
Yeah.
And they'll try to get in front of it, and they'll have a spokesperson come out, and it's like, yeah, that's cool sometimes, but if you drop the ball like that and that affects my legacy, my livelihood, because y'all negotiating for a rematch right now. So you negotiating from a win versus a draw, it's two different discussions.
Two different discussions.
The money way different. Like, and that's your mistake.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but man, it took you, after the Jamel Herring law, how did you come out of that though? How did you turn the corner, put it behind you, and say, bro, I gotta figure it out and do better?
I had to truly accept the loss. Like, it took me a minute. I ain't watched the fight after the fight, none of that. I didn't. I was pissed. I ain't watched the fight till probably like 3 weeks later. 3 weeks later, I watched the fight and I was like, I could have had this. And you scored a draw. You was probably the only one that was really, I knew I was going to lose after the final bell rung, especially when they didn't count that knockdown. But when I watched it and I saw that you scored a draw, I was like, this was really a lot closer than I really, you know what I'm saying? Because it's
Probably felt
different
crazy in your head.
It's different when you in there. And because it's even with the Tank fight, it was just like, I was really putting that together.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
When you watched it.
when I watched it.
Yeah.
When I watched it. So with the Jamel fight, it was just like, we knew we wasn't going to get nothing on paper. We knew
No
that.
favors.
We knew that. Top rank show. I was with Golden Boy. He was the champ. Veterans Day weekend, I think.
Had a whole big thing.
Marine. It was a huge thing. It was a huge thing.
I think they had some Marines out there. They did something. Yeah, it was all in the ring.
And
yeah.
I think it was like an anniversary for one of his tragedies. Yeah, for his daughter.
Yeah.
So
That's gonna be a tough one to overcome, bro. You gonna have to knock him out.
I had to knock him out.
Yeah.
So that was our game plan. It's just I started too late. Yeah. That was it.
But you got a second shot. 3 years later, 5 fights later, against Hector Luis Garcia, you finally win that world title, bro. Walk me through that fight, and then what it felt like to get that monkey off your back.
So with that fight, again, the odds makers had me messed up. Just off the eye test, I was like, y'all really think he gonna beat me? I was like, I know I lost to Jamel and all that stuff, but y'all think he gonna beat me? Y'all tripping. That was my few. I had a chip on my shoulder the whole camp. I'm like, they are tripping. So when we got there, and then take into account the wins that he had before, and the Tank fight, even though he got knocked out. Look at the wins he had before and the Tank fight. He was rumbling. When he fought me, it was like cat and mouse. I negated all that off the jump. I set everything up with the jab. Pressing, even after the fight, he was like, he didn't allow me to do anything. I didn't. It was that mental pressure, and it was definitely me being busy, and I cracked him a couple times. Some a few jumps. I thought he was gonna go out. But
You got sneaky power, bro. Like when I heard Gervonta say he can crack, But like when you see you, sometimes it don't seem like you cracking.
Yeah.
You really watching though, you see that stuff landing heavy. You could just see it's landing heavy. But you can easily overlook it too
Yep.
if you're not really paying attention.
Especially if you look at the numbers. That's what that'd be. I think that's an upside for me now. I don't really care about it.
Yeah, it's a trap for cats, yeah. But what that feel like, man, to get that strap, bro, finally after your second try?
It was like one of the best feelings in the world. I ain't gonna lie, not trying to be dramatic or nothing like that. It's just like, it was like, whew, like, all right, we here now. We actually scratched off the first accomplishment on my goal list. Like, that's it. And I couldn't, you gotta think, my dad was right there too. It was just like, we did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. Like, even before they announced the winner, when they said that last score, I was like, it's no way in hell that they scored that many rounds for him. I said, that's coming home, baby. I said, we
me.
going home with
Yeah.
that. I said, we
Yes,
coming
sir.
home.
Yeah.
So I was geek.
Man, it felt different when you got back to the city? You felt the love or you felt what you feel?
I felt the love. I felt the love for sure. I felt the love. It was like, you know.
Even a hater got to give you a nod or something, man. You come home with that strap.
It's like they've been
man,
waiting on it too.
congratulations, man. You know how it is when you come back to your hometown. They be
Yeah.
like, not everybody, but some people showing you love, but just because they got to.
They ain't got no choice with that
You
knowledge.
don't really look like a hater if you don't, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of the game.
It was crazy.
When you start getting when you first start getting rumblings about the Gervonta Davis fight, like when you start hearing like, hey, this might be a thing.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I kind of figured we was gonna run into each other some way, somehow. When he won his first title.
For real?
Yeah. Was he around the same
Feel
weight?
like
He was around the same weight.
Yeah, y'all
He
got
won at
history
one.
anyway.
Yeah. He won at 130. I was fighting at 130. Obviously, he was already at the championship level. He got catapulted up there by doing what he was supposed to do, knocking everybody out that they put in front of him. Got Floyd behind him. I was on the hush. I was coming up, though. He's a small guy. I knew he wasn't going to go too far. So, and I knew he can rumble. I knew that he'd be I'm not surprised at how good he is or what he's done to other people. So I knew that we was going to meet. Even one time I actually seen him at a pool party, it's outside of boxing or whatever the case may be. I was getting ready for Jamel. He was already champ. He was like, I handle that business, man. We make some money together. So you ain't got to tell me twice. That's how it's supposed to be. So it's just like all the signs was there. All the signs was there. All I needed was, that first world title. Or whatever the case may be, that can put me in that conversation. When he fought Hector, little do a lot of people know, I got the call for that fight too. It was a little crazy, but I got the call for that fight.
To fight Gervonta or Hector first?
To fight Gervonta.
If that
I was
fight
already
fell
the
through.
mandatory for Hector. They was looking for opponents for him, or whatever the case may be. It might be on the scramble, or whatever the case may be. They didn't get a big fight like they wanted to. So that's why he went to 30 and see if Hector wanted to fight. But I did get the call, though. And, of course, we said yes. We just ain't get a call back.
So y'all was like a backup.
I wouldn't say a backup. You never know how serious it was. Hector was the champ already, so I guess that would look better than fighting me. No belt. Number one contender, but no belt. No pedigree to 135. Some might say the best at 135. Especially at that time, he was definitely like number one. So
you first got that call, like, was it your pops that said, hey, they calling again?
we was in the car together. We was in Tampa. We went to go see the Commanders play the Bucks. We was on our way back home, and he was on the phone. So I'm right here ear hustling. I'm right here ear hustling. I'm like, oh, this sounds like some business. So this sounds like some business. I'll wait till he get off the phone. I'm like, what's up? Like that was TGB and Tank Team. They asked if y'all want to do the fight. I said, oh yeah. Couldn't wait. So Then like when it really like, when we really started talking business, that's when we started weighing our options for real then. Because I did have something on the table. I had something on the table. So people who think I'm taking this fight for money, it wasn't the thing. Because I actually had an offer that was higher than the Tank fight.
Oh, for real?
Yes. To defend my belt. So for all the people who think I was, he doing it for a check. That's what I'm saying. I just wanted to shut people up.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
you doing
my
it
thing.
for a
That was
check.
good.
We ain't doing it just for the
You
check.
ain't doing it just
we doing
for
it
the check,
for
but
sure.
trust me, because don't forget, this is business.
It's prize fighting, yeah.
It's prize fighting for a reason.
Absolutely.
But I did have a better offer. But it's like, I ain't worried about that because look at the upside.
We'll get that back.
One, it is a bag. But two, look at what they consider him now. The most dangerous fight, one of the most dangerous fighters in the world. One of the highest knockout percentages amongst boxing. Pound for pound talent. And me, on the other hand, coming up from 130 to 135 to fight this monster. That's gonna make me a 2-division world champ. That's gonna make me a 2-time world champ. And that's gonna put me in the pound for pound talks, at least. Talks. Why not? I know what I'm capable of. So, and this is what we've been working for anyway. I ain't, I could have smoked that dude and then the opportunity be gone. Nah, never gonna come back. The window of opportunity is always closing, day by day.
So y'all, how was the negotiations? Was he taking everything and just saying like, look, bro, be happy with this? Or did you could wheel and deal a little bit?
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically. We tried. I tried.
Yeah.
They was like, I don't know. I'm like, tell them throw me a couple more dollars or something then. Like, but it is what it is. You know how I get to. They get to pay-per-view numbers, see what's gonna go on with that. It's gonna, I tried.
So you can tell me whatever you want to tell me about this, but some people do say, they like, man, they homeboys, man, he cool. Like, he just chucked him a bag, like this on some friendship type stuff, like they making money together. Or was it the way you just pretty much described it, like, nah, like we got history, but this wasn't no planned event.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
Like I got the call and I said, yeah, and we rumbled.
For sure.
Yeah.
100%.
That made it seem like, oh, he just did his homeboy a favor.
I mean, if he did, I appreciate it.
But it wasn't like talked about though.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
I figure as though I did enough to where I could be in a conversation where he can fight me. And that's me like taking myself outside of my body and not being big-headed. Like, there's somebody that a lot of people consider better than you. He's bigger than you, in a higher weight. But I'm here. I'm in the talks. So, and if he did, like I said, I would do the same thing. Why not? Why not? You on top of your game, you doing this, you do that. Especially if you didn't have a high profile fight like that yet. Why not?
It's a good look.
That's a good look.
Yeah.
That's what we supposed to do. That's what we supposed to do.
If given the opportunity, yeah.
That's what we should do more often. People don't get that. Floyd did it a couple times.
Ali did it a bunch.
See?
Jimmy Ellis, a whole bunch of people. I mean, I'll give you, I'll fight you. He knew he was gonna make a big bag and put him in position. Now, I ain't gonna let you beat me, but I'm gonna get a shot though.
But that's the thing. When people running with this narrative of he was being nice, he was doing. Let's address some rumors
That's
real
what
quick.
they saying?
What?
They say,
What? They saying he took it easy on me.
hey, this internet crazy, bro.
What?
Social media crazy.
Let me address some rumors.
Go ahead.
Which I think is true too. But they say he's supposed to fight Jake Paul next after he was supposed to clean me up. Jake Paul gonna guarantee you about $40 million if the fight is with a notable person, which is Tank. Why would he take it easy on me? Why would he sacrifice that? Especially if he's talking about retiring and that's his exit plan if that's the case. Why would he do that? that baffles me. Now, as a fighter, let me ask you, would you ever sacrifice what you work so hard for? Your record, your legacy, chance to be one of the, come on. That's, all right, I'm gonna leave it at that.
I ain't gonna do it.
That's what I'm saying.
It might be somebody out there that would.
It damn sure ain't him.
I ain't the guy.
It damn sure ain't him.
Yeah.
So.
It didn't look like y'all was playing with each other during that fight, though.
At all.
It looked like you was trying to hurt him, and bro looked like he was trying to hurt you. That's what I seen.
For sure.
But when I seen the first press conference, the first one was in D.C., right?
New York.
New York. Tell me if I'm reading this right. Like when I watch a fight, like I be on that psychological. I'm trying to see how the psychological warfare is going on. So I'm watching body language. I'm listening to what's being said, seeing if it's believable. You know, I'm seeing all that. I'm just watching. When I seen y'all in the same vicinity, it looked like it was a mutual respect. It looked like it was clear y'all had history, but I didn't see him playing with you the way he played with them other guys and put his hands on you. But I also didn't see you trying to do too much either. Like you stood your ground in terms of just, whatever you had to say. It seemed like it was a mutual respect. Like, man, there's deep respect here. But sometimes you get the best fights when you got that type of situation. Why didn't he play with you like he played with some of them other guys?
And I don't want nobody to take this the wrong way, but he know me. There's a mutual respect for a reason. Just like I want to go out there and try to play with him. Same way, other way around. Like, one, man respect man. I don't really play, like, you know what I'm saying, play too many. I don't care if it's to hype a fight up, but I don't play like that.
There's certain things you don't do.
It's a lot of stuff you don't do.
Keep your hands on.
Yeah, it's gonna get ugly. But again, there's a high level of mutual respect for each other. Like I said, we done bumped into each other plenty of times. More than the average boxer would see another boxer outside of boxing. So it's cool. Like, he cool with me and I'm cool with him. So that's you know what I'm saying? Like, if we were to see each other outside of our competition, it's what's up, what you want, how you doing?
Even after the fight. Even after that.
He changed his number. I tried to call him. He changed his number. So
you had
I
his
don't
number
know.
all throughout camp too? Y'all
Before,
wasn't exchanging text messages and that?
Nah. But before the fight got postponed, he did call me one time. And I was like, what's up? Like, he like, what's up?
Back.
He like, you been in the gym? I'm like, yeah, you been in the gym? So he like, nah, I didn't ask me about my family, how my family doing. I asked him how he doing and all that stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it was.
Or you think he was asking if you've been in the gym and then shift to the family?
See, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
You're trying to check
but
that temperature, yeah.
Then the fight got postponed.
That's the one that was supposed to be in Houston?
That was the one supposed to be in Houston in December. But I kind of figured, I put two and two together. His birthday was like a month before the fight, and he was still having fun. He just came from Paris. His birthday coming up. So I knew he wasn't going to be ready, especially when they didn't announce no press or they announced when the press conference was going to be or whatever the case may be. So I'm like, all right, when they going to make another announcement about something? So we got pushed back. Me personally, it could be something else, but me personally, I just think he wasn't ready. So if you ask about if it's still like that now, then yeah, I mean, like, I tried to call him. And I tried to DM him too. Like, all right, you see me call, you call me back. Or if you change your number, just hit me.
It's probably a little bit hotter now.
I think so.
He feel away, you feel away.
You got to think, he probably, if you want, all right, we're going to put it out there like this because a lot of people is telling me some of the same things. Some people feel like, oh, he gave me an opportunity and now I'm just dragging him through how I'm dragging him? I ain't say nothing bad about you. I thanked you multiple times the lead up, after the fight. Like, I appreciate that. I did not say you was a trash fighter. I ain't say you ain't had no chin. I ain't say you was slow.
Nothing personal.
I ain't say nothing personal. All I did was highlight my own doings, my performance. How I'm dragging somebody if I'm only talking about my performance? I don't get that. And a lot of people in my comments too, oh, you need to thank him, you need to thank him. Oh, if y'all paid attention, I thanked them a lot. And I thanked them in that ring with our performance. So.
But y'all about to rumble again though. We ain't like, we you know, maybe we'll be cool later.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
That's not what I'm on right now.
That's not what I'm on, for sure.
I'm trying to get this money right to see if we can run this back.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I ain't get the job done. I gotta complete the mission.
Straight up.
So, I mean, that's what we in it for.
Yeah.
That's what we in it for. So, that's what I'm on.
Man, when I watched probably like maybe three of your episodes. What was it called?
The Reaper's Tale.
The Reaper's Tale.
Yeah. All odds against all odds.
It was good, man. Y'all did a good job with that.
Thank you.
Similar to the press conference, when I seen the footage, I'm like, bro, seemed like his mind made up. You know, you see a lot of pump faking, man, in boxing, a lot of rah-rah. And a lot of times that stuff, man, as soon as that pressure hit, you see a different side. But I'm like, he ain't too high, like, oh, I'm about to. But he wasn't. You didn't seem like the moment, you know. Even as the fight got closer, that's when it can start getting real. You 2 weeks out, a week out, you start seeing cats look different and talk different. You just look settled. Like, I know what I'm getting into, and he better know what he getting into. And it was like a balanced approach. And I was like, he got to show it, but like, he seemed like he ready.
But that's what I've been trying to tell everybody.
You were saying it.
You
were saying it the whole time.
I've been telling them. That's what people don't get. I've been trying to tell them since they announced the fight. I've been saying the same thing. I've been on the same path. The same path. He better be ready. Because I know what I come to do. I know what I prepared for, and I know what I can do. I knew that the lights wasn't going to affect me. I'm not one of them, like, and I know people, like you said, people say what don't affect them and what.
You ain't gonna know till you get there.
You ain't gonna know till you get
there.
there.
You say anything you want, but I'm gonna act like I've been there before, even though I haven't, brother. Them lights hit you, and you start looking out at that crowd, like I ain't never seen as many people at a fight before. Bruh, whatever's in you gonna come out.
Yeah,
and if you got some turn in you, or if you not as confident as you've been trying to, we gonna see it.
You gonna see.
We gonna see it.
I'm telling you.
Now I was trying to figure this out. You gotta help me with the DMV, DC, Maryland politics. I don't know how it works. Barry and them, that's my guy, man. I love all the headbangers, man. I just talked to Lamont the other day.
For sure.
Came up with them guys, man. And I know from what I understand, like he's been over there training with them. So did you feel any type of way with DC helping Baltimore get ready for DC?
No. And no. Just straight up. Just straight up, no.
Okay.
But it's because I wouldn't put it past them because I know that they have history.
Okay.
So, like, it was just like might have been the slightest surprise. But when I got word or heard, like when it was rumors, I was like, oh, he over there. I figured that. But as the fight went on, I mean, like as the build up went on and stuff like that, I was just like, I was confused. I was like, well, what Calvin at? I'm like, something ain't right.
Because you ain't seen him.
Then I seen him at the DC press conference. But he wasn't on stage.
But was he at New York too?
Nope.
He wasn't at New York?
Mm-mm.
And you seen him in DC?
I seen him in DC.
But he wasn't on stage?
But he wasn't on stage. So I was like, might be a little trouble in paradise.
Yeah.
Then I see online plastered all 4 of the coaches there. I'm like, they gotta get a super team to beat me? I was like, well, yeah, we got them. I was like, we got them. They gotta build the Avengers. They need the Avengers to come beat me. And then taking it back to Headbangers, I got ready for my last 2 fights kind of like over there. For real, for real. Did I?
At they gym?
At they gym. Like we was coming over there for sparring and stuff like that. So like, and strictly sparring. So they seen me work.
It's like a rec center over there, right?
Every It's a it's a rec. It's DPR. It's a rec. So they seen me spar damn near. If I did like 100 rounds, they probably seen 60. So that's why I was like, all right, maybe they want some insight, but I promise you, the only insight they was gonna get from them rounds is that I be beating people. That's it. I'm telling you. And I think that probably would help him more. Cause they gonna be like, all right, you better not bullshit because he gonna put it on you if you bullshit. So I think that might have helped.
I felt like Gervonta knew though. Like, you know, I feel like he was real about what he was dealing with. And of course, he probably felt like
He tried to tell the people too.
He said it.
He definitely did.
They was trying to, you know, talk down on the fight. And he was like, nah, man, he can crack. He started naming all the stuff. He tough. He this and that. He knew, but he probably, you know, at the same time, for a puncher, you that's the gift and the curse of being able to crack like that is you believe everybody gonna fall.
Yeah.
Even if you give him credit, you believe when I hit him the right way though, he gonna go. You know what I mean? What was your read on Gervonta going into the fight, him personally? As you watched him, did media with him, and just seeing him the way he was moving?
I wasn't trying to get too into what could be in his camp. In our camp, we put it out there up front street. We preparing for the best Gervonta Davis that's gonna ever show up in the ring. All the things he do good, we gonna amplify it, and we gonna be prepared for that. I wasn't hoping that he was slipping or, you know, that he was down or whatever the case may be. But like I said earlier, when I say about some of the interactions or like the familiarity, I said this in one of the, I want to say PBC interviews or whatever. I think he doubted himself. I think those in the gloves off. I think he doubted himself. Hell of a talent, hell of a puncher. Super, super, super good accuracy. I think that's what leads to most of his knockouts, honestly. But he doubted himself.
Why you say
And he
that?
been doing that since a kid.
Yeah? Something you know.
That's just something I know. So that played a little bit into the fight. I think especially when there's not a lot of animosity, because you got to think a lot of people he done fought, they just have differences. Like they be into it or whatever the case may be. I don't got no problem with him, and he don't got no problem with me. So I think he was trying to find something to boost his morale or get him going or whatever the case may be. And he tried to, like the betting me that he gonna knock me out and stuff like that. That didn't go too well for him.
Did y'all bet?
Oh, we bet and we shook on it.
He paid up?
He changed his number.
You ain't heard from him. You ain't got that yet.
I ain't got that
You
yet.
ain't got that yet.
He changed his number, Slim.
Yeah.
So, you know, but that'll be a conversation for another day. I think that's what he tried to use to get himself going and like he ready and all this and all that. See me, I'm 20 with it.
Man, you look like you had a great camp.
I did.
That ain't guaranteed going into a big fight. Sometimes
ain't.
you have a bad camp and everything go wrong. But that didn't look like that was the case for you.
I mean, I had a great camp. Some bad things happened. I ain't gonna lie. You can ask my man Reggie, my cameraman. He done seen it. He was out there 7 weeks straight.
Y'all cut that out of the thing, man. We ain't see that.
Nah,
We ain't see that.
a couple bad things happened. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
A couple bad things. But we got it together. A lot of people don't know I had the flu a week before the fight.
Ooh. How many days?
I had the flu probably like I didn't get better till 5 days after I got sick. Mind you, this the leading up to the fight week.
The worst
I
possible
was
time.
I was 150, 147. I was 147 like 5 days before the fight.
Dang.
5, 6 days before the fight. I couldn't work out. I was down bad.
How you get it off?
The work, a lot of water. A lot of water, the work, just, trusting the process that we have. Eating super, super, super clean now because making 135 was so easy for me. But I definitely had the flu, man. It was concerning, especially when my dad was like, nah, just rest. I was like, you sure you don't want me to work out? He like, just rest.
You ain't gonna get better if you work out. You're not gonna get better.
But that was one of the few things that was one of the few things that went bad. And then another thing, I'm gonna tell y'all after the rematch. That's gonna be a big story. I'm gonna tell y'all after the rematch.
Man, that first bell ring, start walking me through that fight. What you feeling, what you sensing, that's the biggest crowd you ever been in front of, the biggest event you ever been a part of. And from what I saw, like I said, even with the build-up, I didn't see a scared fighter. I didn't see of course you got nerves. You're human.
Yeah, that's human.
But it's how you manage them, and it seemed like he wasn't playing from the jump. And so start walking me through that fight after that first bell.
After the first bell, it was just like I said, man, my vision be so tunnel. I think I'm in the fight before the fight even start. I visualize the fight 30,000 different ways. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. 30,000 different ways. I mean, like, it's a whole lot that I visualize. But once you're there, it's like, all right, let me see what he got, and let me see if he can handle what I got. And that was the whole thing from the jump. Like,
your power and his power. Who can take it?
Who can take it for sure? And I just wanted to be assertive, off like from the jump. I ain't wanna take a step back for him to gain some confidence. Now, whether it be strategical or not, that's cool. But I definitely didn't want to give him no type of edge. I know that the crowd was gonna be pro Tank for sure. I even told him that in the ring, like, why they yell and stuff like that when you throw a punch?
You said that while y'all was fighting?
While we was fighting. Yeah. I was like, why? I'm like, why they so loud when you punch? But when I punch you, they don't do nothing. So it was just like, it's just like maintaining, like, all right, this what we here to do. Just execute. My dad was coaching his ass off in that corner. During the fight, everything. And it's just like to me, it's just like, because it's not a switch that turns on, because like I said, I'm already in the fight before the fight starts. I got one goal, one objective. So when it come down to it for real, I don't really see the crowd. I ain't see the crowd until I looked at the video. Then I was like, it was sold out to the T. So I'm like, the low output really, like, we kind of expected it in the beginning.
From him or from both of y'all?
From him. Because I knew he was going to try to bait me or whatever the case may be. But we knew that we would have to try to at least be active and be controlling with the ring to win those rounds. After the first round, I was like, all right, it's a fill-out round. But how can anybody score that round for him when he ain't do nothing? I was the aggressor, and I knew I was going to be the aggressor from the whole camp.
Yeah, you did that.
The whole camp. I knew I was
that.
going to be the aggressor the whole camp. I've been in there with guys who can punch, bigger guys, and stuff like that. So we prepared the right way. We had many looks. We had different looks. We had a short one. We had midget in there. We had a guy that fights at 47, but was not really like, he was nowhere near his camp. So he's probably like 68.
Yeah, he big.
Big. A lot of A lot of oomph on his shots. And then we had a speedster, a very, very, very athletic fighter too that just match all his tangibles. And we put it together, man. It's just like, all right, some of this stuff is looking like some of it we've been doing in the gym. So it's just like, all right. Then I knew it was gonna get to a point where his corner is gonna tell him he need to pick it up. That's my game. That's my game right there.
What round you think that was when he did that? When he first
Probably
started
like, like 4-5. Not probably like 5-6. Like 5-6. And then when he actually hit me clean, I was like, all right. If that happened again, is it gonna be like this?
Right.
So I was like, if it's gonna be, I'm like, let's test this out again. Not just get hit, but like, let's see what he working with. I would lie to you not. After he told me, he was like, I hit him with like a clean body shot. He was like, I thought you hit harder than that. I was like, motherfucker, I thought you hit harder than that.
Yeah.
You a knockout artist.
Right.
That's what I told him. I'm like, I said, I thought you hit harder than that. I said, I thought you hit harder than that. And then he was like, oh, I see the round ended. He was like, watch. I went back to the corner. I was like, I got him. I got him. The next round he came out, he tried to hit me hard. I seen it. And you can go back and watch the tape. He threw like a big left. I blocked it or whatever. But he hit me with 2 body shots. But he tried to throw them with all his might. I was like, it's over. The only way he gonna get me is if he get me. And that's gonna be like with an accurate punch or whatever the case may be that's gonna land on the button.
But you wasn't afraid for that to happen. You didn't seem like you were. One thing I thought you did real good was you answered almost every time he got off. Every time he got off, you was right in range, bang, bang. And everything didn't land clean, but a lot of stuff did. And like, that's a silent message that's not, it's silent, but it's not so silent. Like the fighters feel it like, dang. And a lot of times he'd get off, and he'd just relax, and boom, boom, boom. You'd get off like that ain't that type of party tonight.
Yeah, it ain't.
That was the game plan? Or is that an on-the-fly adjustment you made?
Nah, that wasn't necessarily the game plan. That was more IQ. He's a star. So when they see that he do something, they can probably be like, oh, that affected him. Because they know he's a knockout puncher. They know that, nah, it ain't happening like that. Like, it was cool, but I'm right back. And you're gonna see what I do to him, especially people that's not expecting it. Y'all gonna see that. The judges might think that too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta think. In hindsight, to win a 12-round fight, boxing is about perception. You got 3 people scoring a fight. If he finished a combination with some big punches or something that looked like it affected me, they're gonna be like, he got that moment. Nah. But that one, I was trying to answer it back, but I was trying to get off too. I was trying to rumble, I ain't gonna lie. But I've been telling people that. I'm like, I'm gonna get this party like cracking. If he not, I am. So if he ain't had no answer, then that's why I told somebody perfectly. I said, either I'm gonna beat the shit out of him or it's gonna be fight of the year. Cause it's gonna make him bring his skill out. It's gonna make him bring his bag out. I said that with 100% confidence.
When he took the knee, what, 9th round?
9th round.
Well, what are you thinking when he took the knee? Was he blinking before he took the knee? Could you see he had some in his eye?
No, that's the thing. This whole fight, that's what I'm saying. This whole fight, you don't see him wipe at his eye. You don't see him blink. You don't see him do none of that. After the beginning of the 9th round, I had a very good beginning of the 9th round too. People forget that. I hit him with a lot of punches. I was busy. He didn't really return. When I hit him with that jab, I hit him with a grazing blow before that, like a right hand. He rolled with it and probably barely hit him. But that kind of bothered him too. So that's when you could see him wipe at his eye. The corresponding eye though, the one that I punched with, it hit him in the other eye, and he wiped it. When I hit him with the jab, he wiped his eye. Looked at the ref, backed up, took a knee. How's that not a knockdown?
He started counting though.
Started counting.
Then he stopped and let him go
Then
do
stopped,
what he
and
was
then
doing.
look, not only that, told him because they picked it up on the mic. You can't do that.
Yeah. Oh, he told him that?
You can't do that because it looks like it looks like a knockdown. Looks? What do you mean looks like? It is.
Took a knee.
Who took a knee?
Voluntary.
Just because he told you, hold on, I was getting.
I ain't never seen nothing like that in no fight. I seen people take a knee, like Floyd did it. That's the one everybody point to, but I ain't never seen nobody take no knee and go get their eyes wiped in the middle of the fight. That's like something you might do in sparring.
Something you might do, yes. Something you might do.
Like, I ain't gonna take a knee, but I'll go wipe my eye
Like,
real
hold
quick.
on, right? Like,
Yeah, wipe my
be
eye real quick.
vocal.
Yeah.
Hold on. Like, I got something in my eye. Hold on real quick. But this is just sparring, though.
Yeah, I ain't never seen that in no real fight, dog. I ain't never seen that in no real fight.
Tragic, right?
Yeah, you can't, man, I know, look, bro, it's a human side to this judging thing, and it's a human side to this, what the refs do, but y'all gotta get it right. You playing, you playing with people's livelihood. What that mean? That means that if you make the right call, my money go up. If you make the wrong call, my money go up, but not like it should. That's playing with my livelihood.
Yeah, for sure. Loss of wages. If people
Yes.
want to, if people want to get technical,
Yes.
loss of wages.
Because you broke your own rules. Like, y'all create the bylaws and the rules, y'all broke that
Yes, sir.
in front of the world.
At that.
So that's the problem I be having with that kind of stuff, man. It'd be tough because, you got to show people some grace, like, man, okay, whatever. But, like, if it's a clear rule that you can't break, you can't break that. It just is what it is. No matter how nobody feel about it.
And what's that doing to the integrity of our sport, too? That's crazy. People get favoritism.
What was something he was doing in there where you was like, that's nice? What was he doing that was working for him, that was giving you trouble? I know y'all might run that thing back, so,
He's a lot faster than people think he is. And he twitchy.
Explosive. Yeah.
He got a good eye. He like, his twitch is, you never know. A lot of his previous knockouts was off that boom. I mean, and they was brutal. So he got a good eye for boxing for
He
sure.
got a good boxing mind too, good
He got
IQ.
a good, yeah, for sure.
Good IQ.
He got a good IQ.
He was in good shape. Did you hear him breathing? He was in good shape. Got you.
I hope he was in good shape. I hope he think he was in good shape. That's all I'm gonna say.
What about his physical strength? Punching power different than physical strength. When you lock up, is he strong?
Too small.
Yeah.
He too small.
You just said that man too small, bro. Y'all in the same weight class.
That's a new weight class for
moved up.
me. A new weight class for me.
That's what I'm saying. That night y'all was in the same weight class. And you still feel like he too small?
He was too small.
Dang.
You just call him a spade a spade. No disrespect, no nothing. He was just too small. I've been in there with some big guys. I do a lot of work that prepares me to be grounded and be strong in the inside, get in position, stuff like that.
But his power make up the difference for all that.
Oh yeah, it do.
Explosiveness, skill, accuracy.
It do. His
Like you said, his accuracy is something that ain't talked
is
about.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
It takes skill, bro. It takes an IQ to be able to see something and then land something like where you need to land it.
His accuracy is unbelievable. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a boxing fan, so like, I done seen him put them dudes away.
After the fight, what you thinking? Last bell ring, what you thinking?
Oh my God. After the last bell, I'm like, oh yeah, like we coming home with this. But you know,
felt you was gonna win? You felt they was gonna?
Like I said, it's different in the ring, but and that's the difference. I felt like I was like, I felt like I just got finished fighting an 8-4 fight. I ain't gonna lie. I felt like it. I felt like, I'm like, dog, even if they get it wrong to where the margin, I said,
You
no.
still felt like you was gonna
I
get
said,
that
there's
9.
no way. I said, there's no way. But when they announced the first scorecard for him,
What,
that's
15, 13?
that's when it really got me. And they said for Davis, you know, normally that's coming either a split decision, more than likely, it's coming a split decision or majority draw. They said for Davis, I said, oh my God, I won. I said, they gonna give me a split decision win. I was like, we coming home, man. I said, it's coming home again. They say 114, 114.
You
I
knew what it
said they
was at
couldn't
that
do
point.
that. I said, oh man. But then I was like, no. Because after that, after they said 114, 114, immediately it took me back to probably like the 11th round or 12th round. He was skating around the ring. He was like, what, you ain't gonna win?
He said that?
What? Yes. He said, you ain't gonna win. I'm like, yeah, why not? He like, they ain't gonna give it to you.
Dang.
I was like, all right.
So I seen you do the watch back. Did he bite you?
Huh?
Did he bite you? Did he try to bite you?
I see, so that's the
I
thing.
couldn't really tell. It looked like I couldn't really tell.
So when we was in the locker room and this is probably like what, after the post presser. We was in the locker room. My father told me, he was like, man, he tried to bite you. I said, he bull. Like, nuh-uh, I'm in the ring. That's something that you would know happened. I said, no, he didn't. Like, what's going on with you? You tripping? I don't remember that. I'm like, I got punched a few times, but I ain't crazy.
Yeah, right.
He like, nah, he really tried to bite you. I'm like, how you know? Show me. He couldn't pull it up. But when I went back and watched the fight, I was like, because I wasn't even thinking about it no more. It's probably like a day later. I seen it, I was like, that's what he talking about? And then you can hear Moro Ronaldo say, compare him to Mike Tyson with some biting stuff.
He said that on air?
Yes. He said he's more like Mike Tyson in other ways as well. We don't want to talk about that.
Of course, another comparison I don't want to make to Mike Tyson, but that's the last thing we need. Yeah.
Hey.
Yes. So that's why I was like, all right, I'm not tripping, because they seen it too. And then my sister told me, she's like, nah, I ain't gonna lie, I seen that during the fight. Ooh. So I'm like, how did I miss that? But obviously because he didn't bite me.
Yeah, he got the mouthpiece in too.
Yeah. So it's just like, obviously he didn't bite me, but it looked like, 9 times out of 10, that looks like he tried to bite me. Did you see the clip?
I did.
So I don't know. But I'm leaning towards, damn, you really try to bite me? It was crazy.
So, after the fight, post-fight, did y'all say anything after the decision was read? Did y'all have any other words before y'all left the
Good
ring?
fight.
That's it?
Yeah. It was cool, good fight. That was it.
Post-fight press conference, he was talking like you wasn't gonna get it next. He was like, yeah, nah, probably ain't gonna be next. And then you was like, I want it, but if not, I'll fight Shakur, right? You said that, right? A lot of people ain't saying they gonna fight Shakur.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, I don't know what it was, a week later, a couple days later, y'all start having, words on social. And then he said what he said about, I'm about to push for the fight. You like, you can't push for the fight. It's mandatory. Did y'all start talking, negotiating for this second one right after that?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
You ain't got to get into all the details, but which way we trending? Is it in the right direction, or some things got to happen before we go in the right direction?
We trending in the right direction. We trending in the right direction. I hope we can make an announcement soon.
Okay.
I hope we have a decision soon. That's all I'm gonna say. But we trending in the right way.
I think
For
this
sure.
thing gonna get done.
I think so.
I think it's gonna get done.
I think it's the only way it should happen.
Yeah. How many rematches have you fought in your pro career?
0.
What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again? Enough separation where this don't happen again.
Whew, it's a good question. It'd definitely be based off of. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta put myself. It's gonna be based on my training camp.
Mm-hmm.
I have to push myself a little harder. If that didn't get me the win, and I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not gonna lie. I have room.
You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he got some more gears?
100% for a fact. I think he might have some more gears, but I fought the best Gervonta that night. I don't want people to get it misconstrued or whatever the case may be. He's a hell of a fighter. Hell of an IQ, great punching power, good speed, and a really good boxing ability. A lot of people underrate that. Don't think because of what I did, y'all think y'all can just go in there and think y'all can have the same night, you know what I'm saying, or do the same thing. He still will go upside your head and crack you, and you know what I'm saying, you might end up on the floor. Everybody not built the same, and that's what people getting messed up. A lot of people talking down like, oh, he did it. Well, some, because he still got a super fan base that's saying that he's going to take my head off and damn near kill me in a rematch. But they like, don't get it. He did a whole lot of things that was good in that fight. A whole lot. And I'm telling you right now, if he wasn't as good of a fighter as he was, that would have been, you know what I'm saying? I would have steamrolled him. So it's like, don't get that misconstrued. He's still the guy he is. It's just he ran into a guy that's on the same level.
How much has your life changed since this fight? Even though it wasn't the win you wanted, but you know.
And you know that's the crazy thing. I didn't even win. I got a draw. I gotta walk around with my man. You know, hitting my security detail, man. Like, it's different now. I probably, like, it's so much attention. I can't move the way I moved before. It's just like, even though you think a city love you, it's like, it's still those guys that's looking at you like, oh, he just got a bag.
Crash out, yeah.
It's different. It's a lot more people that are vocal about how they've been supporting me too.
I'm with you, man, from the beginning. I knew you was gonna do it. I tried to tell him.
So, you know, it's a
Come
lot
with
of
the
people.
game, baby.
It come with it for sure. And,
it's a good problem to have, though. You know,
it is.
you could have a problem of, right, like nobody paying attention, and you're still gonna deal with life. You're still gonna deal with some hate. You're still gonna deal with some stuff, or you could deal with the problem of being elevated and dealing with more hate and more, you know, just issues, bro. Just stuff you got to deal with, you know. But at the same time, for all of that, it's a lot of love too, and that's one thing that we got to always remember. Yeah, it's hate, but that we can't magnify the hate. It is what it is. Y'all over there, man. I got a lot of love though, and they really been rocking with me from the beginning.
Exactly.
And no matter what happened in that fight, they was gonna still be rocking with me.
Exactly.
That's really where the focus got to be.
And that's what keeps me grounded. That's what keeps me grounded for real. My support system is crazy. They one of the reasons why I'm here. So,
cause it's a blessing. It's a blessing, bro. It's a blessing. Like, give me that pressure that come with being successful.
It's cool. I can put that on my.
Cause it's pressure not being successful and trying to figure out how to make this money work. And man, I need this. I got a family. That's pressure too.
Yeah.
Just different pressure. Give me that pressure.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Man, brother, I appreciate you, man. I know you've been moving, and I appreciate you coming to see us up here in Philly, man. And we gonna stick with you, bro. And you know, maybe tap in with you when this fight get done, and maybe check back in with you, bro. But both of y'all put on a great performance, bro. I really enjoyed the fact that y'all from the same area, and y'all was able to rumble like that and, you know, still have respect. You know, I get building up a fight, but that was interesting to me just seeing y'all being as close as y'all have been throughout the years. Not friends and partners, but like, y'all know each other.
Yeah, definitely.
But still seeing it like, but they really finna try to do something to each other.
Yeah.
And y'all did that. Y'all put on a great fight. So I respect Gervonta, man, for extending the opportunity, but I respect you for not just taking the money and really saying, bro, yeah, appreciate the opportunity, but be ready.
Yeah.
I appreciate both of y'all for that, man. It was a great, great fight. And I hate that there was any type of controversy around it, but hey, this boxing, and that's what rematches are for, bro. So hopefully y'all get that done. And we're going to be tuning in, bro. So we appreciate you, brother.
Man, no doubt.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. I appreciate
Keep
it
doing
for sure.
doing, man. It's a wrap for the Art Award, man. We'll see y'all next time. Peace. Brother.
Yeah.
Yes, Lord. Thank you, man.
Thank you, man. That was a nice talk. Thank you.